Welcome back to another edition of Rounds of the Knight's Table.
I am Eric, just Eric.
Today we're going to talk about Sicario 2, Day
of the Soldado.
of the Soldado. This movie stars Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro. This movie starts off with a bang, quite literally.
Oh, yeah.
Suicide bombers in a...
Grocery store?
Target grocery store. Target-esque. There was red. I mean, very plausible that this could happen. Josh Brolin brings in a Somali terrorist to find out where they came from.
He's the one that attacks the oil tanker, and he didn't attack this one boat. And he's like, okay, who paid you not to go after the boat?
Then he blows up his house.
With his brother. It's like the cartels are smuggling these terrorists.
This film really focuses on this young kid, and he kind of gets involved with his cousin who works on the border to smuggle people.
Yeah.
This kid just had a shit look on his face the whole movie. I want to fucking smack him in his face, little bastard. But it also centers on this young girl who is the daughter of one of the heads of a drug cartel.
Josh Brolin flying back to D.C., and he has a meeting with Papa from Stranger Things, Secretary of Defense Papa. We need you to do what you do. Let's just put them at war against each other, these cartels.
Yeah. In order for me to do this, I gotta get dirty. He gets the Sicario himself, Benicio del Toro. They kidnap this girl who's coming home from school.
They ambush her
security. They get her, bring her back to a safe house in Texas, posing as the rival cartel. They left 2 security people alive, and one of the cops that shows up kills the 2 guys, which should have been telling, I guess, from then on out.
Oh, yeah.
To not trust them. They pose as DEA agents, Benicio del Toro and that crew.
They put the girl in the bathroom. Do me a favor? Put her in the bathroom.
Do me a favor. Put her in the fucking bathroom.
And then they go outside, put on their DEA stuff, and start just shooting up the house. They make the girl think that they just saved her from this cartel. Take her back to their little base.
They meet with a Mexican official, and they have an arrangement to bring this girl back and drop her off at a location. The dad can get her back, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
After the meeting with this guy, they go to drive off and almost hit this kid. The fucking kid with the puss on his face the whole time. I mean, he gets a good look at their faces. They go to drop off the girl and get fucking ambushed
by the police that were there helping.
If you saw Sicario 1 when they get stopped at the border and they get that little shootout, the tension in that movie, and I don't know if it's just because we're Americans and it's a foreign place and you hear, different shit, how violent it can be there. It's like the thought of the unknown that this shit could happen to you.
Yeah. Anytime, anywhere.
And you're vulnerable because you're not on your home turf. I thought it was so great, the shootout and all that shit, and it was awesome. And so the girl runs out of the car while they're still getting shot at.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh Brolin's like, new mission. Your destiny has arrived.
Del Toro's like, no, I'll collect her.
I see what you did there. Del Toro runs off to go get her, and they drive off, trying to make a run for the border.
They make it, by the way.
And so because they killed so many cops, it's become a political thing now. But now the U.S. government
is involved.
And so what they didn't want. Catherine Keener, who's the creepy mom from Get Out, she's like, no, you got to shut this shit down. This is a shit show. She wants to eliminate the girl and Benicio del Toro and just everything else from it.
They want to wipe it clean.
Del Toro catches up with the girl. They end up staying at some poor people's house.
And they cut back to the kid.
The kid who was smuggling people across.
They show him doing his first job for the guys, smuggling his first group over to the trucks.
He was from Texas, but he had a passport that allowed him to go back and forth. Del Toro and this girl, he wants to smuggle her back, but Josh Brolin can't give it to her. They put a tracking beacon with him, and he gave it to the girl. Right.
And Brolin called him on a sat phone. They want me to wipe you clean. I don't want to have to do that.
They get the girl back to this place that smuggles people across the border, and who does it happen to be? The kid and that whole crew.
I have a problem with this.
Oh.
So this kid earlier on sees Del Toro's face very clearly. It is nighttime. He is in this warehouse with a very dirty window, and the kid clearly makes out his face, and he's like, oh, hey, cuz, this guy, he's a cop.
So he tells his cousin, and the cousin drives the bus.
Yeah, and takes it to the checkpoint.
They pull their guns on him because there were more people in the bus that were with the crew. But they bring in the head of the guy who's in charge of the smuggling. They recognize her, but earlier in the movie he told her to tell whoever asked that she's paying him to pose as her father, because she was like, well, why not just say that you are my father? And he said, well, we'll have different stories to tell, different lies to tell. And then they knock him out and they drag him to this big hole. He's got duct tape around his mouth. He's got a bag over his head. The guy says, you're going to die out here like an animal.
And I'm going to make a kid do it.
I'm going to make a kid do it. And the first kid doesn't do it. And the next kid...
The one that ratted him out.
And he does it. Shoots him right in the face.
Oh, yeah.
So they take the girl.
Brolin and them are in the helicopters at this point, and they see everything that's happening. And, you know, they're glad they don't have to take Del Toro out themselves. So they're like, yeah, we're going to go get these guys, and we're going to get the girl back.
So they roll up, gangsta, and cut them off with the helicopter. Take these guys out, except the main guy, who's the head of that operation, ends up taking the girl hostage.
But Brolin just straight up gangsta headshots.
He's like, you know, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't give a fuck.
They grab the girl out of the first truck. They wanted her dead, but he like takes her and starts walking her to the helicopter. And dude's like, what are you doing? We're supposed to clean this up. Her too. F them all.
We'll put them in witness protection. And then what happens? It cuts back where Benicio del Toro was shot in his face.
It was like a through and through.
Oh, okay. So then he's like struggling to get up. He's all fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
He limps back to a road and comes across the vehicles where they just killed all those people.
Because of course.
Because of course, why not? Well, he saw where the helicopters were fucking going.
Well, the main direction, but I mean, they could have.
He gets back to the vehicle, gets them out, right? The dead bodies. Starts taking all their weapons and pulling them into the front seat. Slowly.
Like couple grenades.
And he starts driving down the road. So this random car comes turning around, comes pulling up alongside him. He fucking takes the grenade and throws it.
Full on Solid Snakes him.
Boom! And it was great. It wasn't a cheesy, shitty CGI explosion.
No.
This thing was real and gangsta. Flash forward a year later. This kid's all tatted up. Check out my new tit. Still with the same fucking puss on his face.
Oh, God.
But you can tell he's walking with a little swag about him because he got at least his first kill. He's walking through that mall, right?
The same mall where he got like his first payment.
And where he saw Benicio del Toro in the parking lot. And he goes to go in the back, and who's waiting for him is fucking Benicio del Toro.
He's like, have a seat.
So you want to be a Sicario? We're going to talk about your future. And the door closes. They don't leave you with anything else after that. This movie felt very much like Man on Fire for me. I really loved that movie. I liked the way this one ended. I mean, you could say whatever about him getting shot in the mouth or the cheek.
My God, the luck of it all.
This movie for me was an 8.4 out of 10. You do lose a point for not having Emily Blunt, by the way.
I would give it about an 8.5.
Check out Sicario 2, Day of the Soldado. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll check you out next time, only on Rounds.
Josh Brolin, he interrogates the Somali pirate.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. So what you're telling me is that you're going full Joe Pesci, My Cousin Vinny. So you saw him through this crud-covered screen, this dirty window, all these trees with all these leaves on them.
All we're missing is the old woman with the thick glasses and Marissa Tomei to match up the
Tomato!
I said Tomei, too!